And now we are going to go over some common homework mistakes and errors that I see my students make and cost them marks on their exam. So the first one is my personal favorite, seeing something that looks like this. There is no such thing as a major fifth. There's no such thing as a major fourth. There's no such thing as a major unison, and there's no such thing as a major octave. Unisons, fourths, fifths, and octaves are all perfect, so this is wrong by default. And in fact, if you're taking a level 5 theory exam, even though there are different types of fifths. There are perfect fifths, there are augmented fifths, and there are diminished fifths. But in level 5, you've only learned perfect intervals, so you don't know those yet. So by default, if you're taking a level 5 exam, if you see a unison, a fourth, a fifth, or an octave, just label it perfect, because that's all you know. So this is not a major fifth, it's a perfect fifth, and major fifths don't exist, okay? There's no major, minor fifths. All the perfect intervals do not have major or minor variations, just do perfect. Okay, the next one, common thing that I see kids do first when they're starting off with intervals, is something that looks like this. This question is asking us to write a perfect fifth. Now, this is technically a perfect fifth because we have an E natural going to a B, and in an E major scale, B is the fifth note. So this is technically a perfect fifth. However, you weren't allowed to change the bottom note. They gave you an E flat under there, and you were supposed to work with the E flat and write a note on top that created a perfect fifth with that E flat. You cannot change any of the notes given to you on your homework sheet or on your exam. Okay, so if you get whatever note they give you, you have to work with it. You can't, this was E flat, and you cannot just change it out of convenience because it's easier to write a B natural going to an E and make a perfect fifth that way. So do not change the given notes. And that goes for the same. This question said write a note above the bottom note. This question says write notes below. Again, you cannot change the given note, so don't change the given notes. Major seconds are written like this. All right, I'll draw it bigger up here so you can see. The bottom note of the second always goes on the bottom left, okay? So you cannot write seconds like this. See, the lower note is on the bottom right side. That's wrong. That's incorrect. Seconds have to be this way. The lower note is on the left and the higher note is on the right. And the very last thing I often see is something crazy like this. So this is supposed to be a major sixth. A sixth above the note C is A. I suppose this is technically an A, but it's so, the ledger line has been written so far away from the stave that it's almost impossible to tell, and it will probably frustrate your examiner trying to read it. This looks more like an octave to me. If I was marking a bunch of exams and I was glancing through this really fast, I would think that was an octave and I would mark it wrong. So it would be much better if you could write something more along the lines of that. That's a lot more reasonable. The space matches the spaces that were given to you on the page. Actually, that's not that great either because I wrote an oval and it's kind of touching the F line. Let's do it again and get it right. Don't use pen on your exam. There we go. That one's right. That's a major sixth. Alright, so those are some weird things. I hope you did well on your homework sheet, and I hope that was informative, and I hope you will join us for the next lesson on chords and harmony.